this stuff all in my nose. Oh man, I'm trying to add rapping dough, but for some reason, not getting the best reception out here. Here we reporting live with all this stuff in my beard and my hair. Here we go. It's good, brother.
Yo, fam, you was getting it in. You hear me?
working for real. Look
What?
at all this. I don't know where that random wood came from. They probably went in there and found it.
Hey, fam, we right on time, like literally 5 minutes ago.
I like it.
These
That's
just
dope.
got dropped off for everybody that's VIP. Hey, y'all got 3 days. Y'all got 3 days till Options Made Easy Bootcamp. VIP get one of these. Like, we not playing no games.
I
You
like
feel
it.
me?
That's
Answers
solid,
in the
man.
back. So the goal is not to make y'all perfect traders, right? No one can be a perfect trader. No one, right? We want to make you a more consistent trader. You feel me? So anybody out there saying, they strategy work and my strategy works, guess what? All the strategies work. All of them work, but none of them work 100% of the time. None of them. So you have to pick one, right? And we're going to give you one so you can, be more consistent, which is going to make you more profitable. It's going to get you to your goals faster. So that's the goal.
Right. Yeah, I think that people think that being good at options or being a successful trader means they never miss.
Right.
And when they miss, then they quit. And so I think that a lot of the principles that you're going to be sharing here isn't necessarily for folks to get there quick. It's just for folks to get there, man. Like it's not quick, but it's possible. And I think what's also really cool about it is it lets you understand the overall concept of being an investor, being a trader, which is being in it for the long haul, taking the ups with the downs, but ideally getting way more ups than downs. And I think that you will if you stick to your strategy. A lot of times people, what happens is they'll abandon the strategy and they'll say, oh, well, this missed. Even if it misses more than once, twice in a row, you can't abandon the strategy. You still got to kind of stick to your guns. You got to stick to what you're doing because then you start bouncing around to different things. And now you never really get a chance to get proficient at anything. So
that's the hack, y'all. That is the hack. And I think that right there, plus knowing what your risk tolerance is, because we're going to touch on that first. We're going to hammer that home day one. Week one, we are going to talk about what your risk tolerance is. Because going into options trading, people don't know what their risk tolerance is. So they're buying any old contract. And then when it goes against them, they like, oh man, they done lost all of their money, not knowing what their risk tolerance is or was from the gate.
right.
So we need to hammer that home week one. And that right there alone is going to take you far. But yo, like I said, this right here, it's just like school. When you went home from school, you had to do homework, right? And the homework wasn't for the teacher. It was for you. So you can hammer home the concepts that you learned earlier, right? So the goal is not for you to need us anymore. Like we don't want to have you need us. We really want you to get it. So I created this for that purpose, like for you to really, really get it. Because I akin it to because for people that's just meeting me, I come from the haircutting industry.
How would you paint that?
My dad is a barber, and I came up in the family business. So I didn't come out the womb knowing how to cut hair, right? So one thing my dad always told me a long time ago, he was like, son, I'm gonna give you this skill set and you're gonna be able to go anywhere in the world and make money, and you're always gonna be self-sufficient. As long as you got an outlet to plug your clippers in, you're gonna always be able to make money. So I akin this to that. Like I want to give you a skill set, or we want to give you a skill set that you can teach how to just make money from here with this. So that's the gem. That is the gem. So yeah, we don't want you to have to need us. A lot of people want you to need them and join their call out group. No, I want to make you the call out person yourself. Like
100%. Because the thing is you're gonna make more money when you call it out yourself. You're gonna make more money because you're gonna
you know,
spot the
be able to
opportunities
find
that
your
make sense
own
for you.
place. Yeah,
Right. Can you hear
because
me? Can you hear
everybody,
me?
yeah, you coming in, you breaking in and out a little bit, but you
Oh
good.
man.
You good. Um, yeah, because what the person might call out in the group might not even fit your risk tolerance, right? And you don't even know what they seen on the chart. It's like, yo, you don't even know what time frame they looking at. You don't know what they support and resistance areas is. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things that you don't know they seen. So it's like you're depending on them. No, we don't want that. We want you to be able to see what they see and then do your own thing based off of your risk tolerance and what you see. You know what I'm saying? So options made easy. That's why I named it that. Options
Options
made
made
easy
easy.
because
Easy.
people want to complicate it. And when you complicate it, it's like you go to a website, what they say, a confused buyer buys
Doesn't
nothing.
buy.
So what you think a confused trader is going to do? You're going to lose money more often because you can lose money in options. You're going to lose money, right? But it won't be such a big deal if you know off top what your risk tolerance is, meaning what are you comfortable losing or risking comfortably, because we don't want you looking at the play and basing it off of how much money it's down. We want you to be looking at the play and basing it off of what you see on the chart, because you can be down 30%, 20%, right, on a play. And if that's hurting you, you may be risking too much money because you're looking at the money instead of the play.
Right,
So
right.
if you take that out of the equation and you're comfortable with the money that's on the table, that's not even part of the equation anymore.
Yeah.
You follow?
Sometimes these things take time to pan out too. And so by knowing
Right.
your risk tolerance, it allows you to give yourself some patience. If you're risking more than you should be risking, you're gonna rush the trade. You're gonna get nervous when it goes down a little bit. And what could have been a good trade ends up being a bad trade, and actually what was a good trade
And
becomes a
again,
bad trade.
right. So that part right there, and this is nuance. This comes from us learning this. This is not, I mean, you can read it in the book, but this comes from wins and losses. You know what I'm saying? So this is nuanced information. Um, and it's that part. So we have to figure that out first. And then we can move on to, okay, where you need to be finding your stocks, right? Based off of how much you're willing to risk. Sounds like an audible in football. What?
I think
What's
a part of making it easy is also using analogies that make sense to people who already understand certain things. So I think calling it an audible in football is probably a great way for you to figure out how this stuff works. Um, I do a lot of real estate, and so I kind of relate options to real estate in terms of like understanding the contract, understanding the rights, the responsibilities, the time horizon, things like that. And so what I would say is a part of this is making it easy. Somebody told me recently today that I have a way of explaining things that make it make sense. And
hmm
so there's a lot of options course out there. There's not a lot of options courses that make it easy.
That's a fact.
And so like that's the point of the whole concept is like it's not an easy thing to understand. It's very complex. I learned about options in college, and even the way they explained it was a little bit more difficult. But now we break it down in simple terms so that you can grasp it.
That part.
What's up, Michelle? What's going on, Michelle?
Yeah, shout out to Michelle in the building. Yeah, simplify, 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 man. And that is crazy because when I did the presentation in the mastermind, it was only an hour. So that's where I came up with the hour and a half because I was wishing I had another half an hour. But everybody, dug it. But I still wish I had another half an hour um, of gems. So that's why it's 4 hour and a half sessions. You know what I'm saying? And VIP get an extra half an hour of Q&A. And they also get this workbook. So if you're VIP, I seen a couple orders come through earlier today. Um, Make sure you respond back to that email with your shipping address so I can get that to you before uh, class starts. And that's what? In a couple days. So respond to that email ASAP so I can get these out. But yeah, that's what we doing. We run an hour and a half session and we gonna make it plain English. But you gotta do your part, right? Um, people like the course, um, but they really dug the in person and able to ask questions. So that's why we created this Options Made Easy live course so people can actually see um, and have a workbook to go along with it. So we heard the streets talking, we delivering.
The
It's
question
a course.
says, is the course beginner friendly? That's the whole point of it to be beginner friendly. So absolutely, if you're a beginner, or even if you're somebody who's new and still kind of struggling to find their way, this is definitely for you all.
Facts. Yeah, so like I said, it's like that's what it keeps reminding me of, like how based off of what I see, because I used to work with my hands, and that was based off of what I see too. But having a skill set that can't nobody take from you, um, that's the major key. You can't get fired from trading options. You can fire yourself.
Definitely can't get fired.
um, but it done open up, a lot of doors for me as well as showing me because like I said, I was a full-time barber. Now I work when I want to. Like I set my schedule. Like today, I got some appointments that I booked. Well, I didn't book them. I got my Calendly app, and I got my hours on there. So whenever I want to work is when they can book me. You dig? But it done open up a lot of doors for me. Um, I never had I never had a 3 month expense account before options. Um, yeah, I never had a 5-figure investment account before options. And now I got my first rental car. So I'm waiting to put that on the road. I'm still going through the preliminary things I got to go through to get that on the road. But it's options gave me options.
The
Shout
ox,
out to
the
Todd.
good kind of ox.
Yeah, shout out to Todd Billy for the course, because that was my origin. If people don't know my story, I learned during the pandemic. But yeah, and here I am before you guys with the coach. So if I'm not living proof, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to do. But that's what we running to play for y'all, man. So make sure y'all tap in.
The ox. Anybody who's actually been looking and this person says, how much should you wager per trade?
In the beginning, I started with like $20, $30, and as my profits begin to get bigger, I started to increase my risks, my I guess bet, whatever you want to call it. And my returns got bigger. So that's how it works.
Right. I would say in the beginning, you guys, please paper trade.
Paper trade.
This is just
Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did.
please paper trade. This is a completely. It's like, would you wake up one day, no driver's license, and go call yourself racing NASCAR? Like, you probably wouldn't do that. You'd probably get a regular car and do some practice laps, and then you'd eventually work your way up into going into NASCAR. But a lot of people, what they do is they hear about race cars and they're like, damn, I need to get in this race car.
Right.
And you're going to crash. You are going to, it's not a maybe, you're going to crash. For a few reasons. First, you don't know how to handle all that equipment and all that power. And then also you out there with a bunch of folks who are way more advanced than you, because when you're trading in the stock market, you got to keep in mind that you're in the big leagues. You're trading against other full-time traders who do this, like for real, for real. They'll shake you out of your positions. They'll fake you out of positions. They'll do a lot of things. And if you're not prepared for that, if you haven't experienced that, and it's your first go round, and you're just hopping out there trying to say like, all right, I got $1,000 and put up $100 and something I don't really understand, it's gonna get clapped. It's gonna be clap season. So have patience, work the process, and start with paper. And then after you start with paper, start small. So in my opinion, ideally you start with $1,000 and you break that $1,000 into increments of $100 trades, and just get really good at doing $100 trades. And then you can grow your positions. But ideally, you're just good at hitting base hits. Base hits are great. You hit a bunch of base hits, you're gonna get a home run. You're gonna score some runs. So don't go out there trying to hit home runs in the very beginning. Just get some successful trades, 20%, 30%. That's a good trade.
I hit one of them today.
Yeah, get you some good solid trades. Find out that it works, because it does work. But just know that this market isn't 2020. This market is way different. 2020 was a beautiful time.
Was it?
But that doesn't mean that you can't make money now. You just got to figure out the strategy that works for you. So I always say start small, start paper, and then grow as your skills grow. And also don't despise the base hits. Some of the best hitters in baseball are the people who hit base hits, not the folks out there who go out there trying to hit home runs all the time. There's very, very few baseball players who are successful that hit home runs all the time. Yeah, they might be in the Hall of Fame, but base hits matter, man. Just getting on base.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be crazy.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm fired up. I can't wait to give y'all this heat, because it's like, man, it's like, yo, really? This is because sometimes it's only one key, one little nugget that you're missing. And I remember what it was for me. And I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give y'all one of them right now. I'm going to give y'all one of the keys that pushed me to the next level. Listen closely. You can't see what you need to see in a daily bar. Ooh, that's a bit heavy. You trying to trade, it's only so much you can see in a daily bar. You have to drop down into a trading time frame. That's the gem. You can't see what you need to see in a daily bar. You have to get surgical and drop down into a trading time frame. You have to pick one though. Pick the one that's going to suit your trading methodology. So if you want to stay in a trade for a day, you want to day trade, you need a day trading time frame. If you want to swing trade from day to day, you need a time frame for your stock because every stock moves different. You need a trading time frame that fits that methodology. Like, okay, I want to be in a trade for a day. Okay, well, what time frame do you need to be in to see what you need to see to trade from day to day? That right there took me to the next level. I hope y'all wrote that down.
Let them know where they can find it. I gotta head out. Where can they find this information?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, make sure y'all go to Rapping Dough, man. Hit that arrow right there if y'all first time seeing me. If y'all want to get in on this challenge, y'all need to tap in now. I got 5 more seats left. I only think I want like 10 people in there, fam, because I wanted to be a little intimate this time. So I think it's 5 more slots left. I might open it up some more, but 5 more slots. And the link is in my bio. So with that, I'll probably see y'all later. And tune in to Chief and Chart on the Rapping Dough YouTube channel. I'm on there every day, Monday through Friday, going over my plays and what I see on the chart. So with that being said, I'll see y'all later.
Yep.
All right, bro.
All right, y'all.